Hi friends, how's it going? My name is Corey and welcome back to my channel. I thought today it would be fun if you came along with me while I got ready for the day. I have some new makeup that I'm excited to try out. I'm doing primarily drugstore brands, so I do have an exception to that is going to be setting powder and setting spray. I don't have any drugstore setting powder or setting spray, so I'll be using higher end makeup for that. But I thought it'd be fun to do a get ready with me. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with primer. And I do want to preface that I am not a beauty YouTuber. I am not a makeup artist. I'm just a regular person playing with makeup and just having fun. I really enjoy makeup. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm going to be starting with this marshmallow primer from NYX. It smells so good. Don't need that much, just a little bit. A little goes a long way. And I just kind of pat this all over my face, rub it in. All right. That feels so good. It's so smooth and creamy. It says that you can use alone or with foundation. And I think this is like a 10-in-1 primer. It doesn't say all the benefits on this, but I will link it down below if you want to check this out. It's made with marshmallow root. This has been out for a couple months now, I think. And I got this at Ulta. Next up, we have foundation. I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser makeup treatment. And it usually comes with a little sponge attached to this, but I took it off because I think it's just easier to use. I don't want to, waste a lot of product in the sponge. And along with that, I have the NYX Marshmallow blender that I just got. So I actually need to open this up and get this wet. Alrighty, so this grew probably double its size. There's a cute little heart on it right here. And this is probably the size of like a marshmallow, like a double stuffed marshmallow. Now I typically use like a E.l.f. beauty blender type thing. It's not an actual beauty blender, of course, but it's shaped like one. So I'm interested to see how this works out with its, cylindrical shape. So let me just get some foundation. You just kind of twist it up and it comes out the top. I tend to gravitate towards lighter to medium coverage products. I don't typically go towards full coverage foundation. And if you see me looking down, I'm just looking in a mirror. So right away, I noticed that this is picking up a lot of product. It is wet, but it's picking up a lot compared to the E.l.f. sponge I use. So I might need to go back in and put some more foundation down. It's not that bad. But I feel like it did pick up a lot. So I'll just go in with a little bit more. You can see a lot of product on the sponge. And I feel like it's ruined. I hate going in with like a light colored sponge for the first time and then it just feels ruined after the fact. You can wash it, but it never gets quite back to where it was before. Now, like I said, I love makeup. I actually worked at Ulta for a little bit because I love makeup so much. It's like a second job. I do have a full-time job working in an office setting, but I thought that I would be a little bit more productive with my love for makeup. And I worked at Ulta and I loved helping people pick their makeup for, special occasions. I had people coming in for prom and stuff like that. And that was just fun to do. And that's another reason why I started my YouTube channel is I really love fashion and makeup, and I just wanted to be a little bit more productive with it, you know? All right, next up we have concealer somewhere. So, oh, and the color foundation I used, in case you're curious, was 120 Creamy Ivory. Now, for my concealer, I have the E.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in Satin Finish, and this is the color Fair Beige. And I'm going to be applying this. This is not a drugstore brush, but it's the Rare Beauty concealer brush. I just love the shape of this. Now, I think, you know, the less concealer you do, the better. I know that might be like a controversial thought here. I have some blemishes over here that I want to cover up, and you know, just cover up some eye bag circles, but I don't like to cake my face with anything, you know, on a regular day. I just like to feel nice and natural. Now this brush is perfect for getting like right in the corner of your eye and sweeping around and getting in the cracks of your nose. Do you tend to go for fuller coverage foundation, or do you like to go for lighter or medium, buildable? What do you go for? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, I like the way this is looking so far. Pretty. So next up, we're going to do blush. Now I have the Milani, this is the Baked Powder Blush in Dolce Pink. Beautiful. This is new to me. I just picked this up at Target. And putting it on, I'm going to be using this powder brush by Real Techniques. It's a pink chunky one. Ooh, a lot of kickback. A lot of kickback, if you can see that. Just sweep it on. Now what I liked about this and what drew me to it is it does seem like it's a little glowy. It has some glitter in it, so it's almost like a highlighter, and I thought this would be really pretty for summer. Now on camera that seems like it's really coming up pink, but in my mirror, not so bad. Pick up some more for the other cheek. Really pretty. Nice and glowy. I love the sheen that it gives. It would look really good with just like a highlighter, or you could actually use this as a blush topper if you wanted to go in with a really light hand. If you just had a matte blush that you love the color of and you wanted to, you know, make it glow a little bit, I think that that's really pretty. Next up, we're going to be doing some bronzer. Now this is another Milani product that I have. This is also new to me. This is the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in Sunlight, and it says it's blendable and streak free, weightless and long wearing, and it's actually tropical coconut scented. So let's go ahead and give that a try. It smells like sunscreen. Oh, that's so fun. Oops, it stuck my nose in there. And for this, I'm going to be using this Eco Tools Precision Brush. Now, this is not my typical bronzer. As I was saying, this is new to me. So I'm actually going to go in with my color switch and clean off my bronzer brush really quick here. Now, this looks pretty light in my opinion. And I almost wonder if it's going to be too light for me in the summertime. Actually, on camera, it's coming up a little bit more orange. But we'll give it a try nonetheless. Ooh. Little goes a long way, it seems like. I like to put bronzer up here. Really pretty. Not too bad. It is very light compared to what I'm used to wearing, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Put some down here. And up here. Oh, it smells so good. I love that. So here's the bronzed side, here's non-bronzed side. Looking good. I like it. I like that this is matte. I have a NARS bronzer, I think it's in Laguna, that is sparkly, and sometimes I feel like that could be too much glow, especially because I typically go in my Hourglass. Now I am just a regular person. I don't really contour all that much. I just like to add, you know, some bronze where bronze should be. Okay, now, you know, the blush added some glow, but this is not enough for me, to be honest with you. So I'm going to be going in with this Rach Loves Pixie palette. This is a highlighter palette. It's seen better days, of course. Now, there is a bunch of different highlighter shades in here that you can choose from. This is actually made in collaboration with one of my favorite YouTubers, Rach Loves. She formulated this so you can go in and layer all these different colors and make the perfect highlighter experience for yourself, which is really cool. And you know, this purple one is just super fun. I don't think we're gonna do that today. I want to do something just a little bit more golden feeling based on the rest of the makeup that I have to put on. So I'm going to go into Clutch right here. And this is the Morphe M501 brush that I love for highlighting. And I'm just going to sweep that here. Now this, a little goes a long way with this. It is, whew, that is blinding. But it's really, really pretty. I haven't used this in a hot minute. I've been typically using my ColourPop Super Shock, but I thought I'd change it up a little bit for this video. Pretty. Now this is where I'm going to cheat a little bit. This is my next product is not a drugstore product. This is this Hourglass palette. This is the Ambient Lighting palette. So it just has the 3 finishing powders in here that I like to use as setting powders, especially when I'm feeling like being a glowy little princess. And I like to go in with my e.l.f. highlighting brush for this. And I'm going to dip into this one over here. This is, I think this is Dim Light. Let's see. Dim Light. And I like to use this under my eyes. Like that. Just kind of set my concealer. Go over my nose. My T-zone. Like so. I'm going to dip into this one over here. That would be Radiant Light. And I'm going to go over the places where I bronzed to put a little bit of sheen and glow over the bronzed areas. Now typically I would bring this onto my cheekbones, but I think the blush and highlighter, excuse me, today has done a very good job of glowing. So maybe just a little bit here. I think that's looking really good. So next up, it would be setting spray. And again, like I said, I don't have a drugstore setting spray. I just have my Urban Decay All Nighter spray that I'll use. I've been using this forever, and I don't really see a reason to switch. Whew, nice and wet. So next up would be brows. And for brows today, I figured I'd keep it nice and simple. And I just have this e.l.f. Wow Brow, and this is the shade Deep Brown. This has a nice little spoolie, as you can see. And this has, it seems like it has like little fibers. So this is like a brow gel. It is tinted, but it will just keep your brows in place. Kind of like a Glossier Boy Brow. This I would say is comparable to it. And typically I'd go in with a brow pencil and kind of fill in areas because the ends of my brows are a little bit sparse compared to the middles of them. But that's okay. I like keeping it simple sometimes. And I don't really have a drugstore pencil. So this is fun. And it's looking good. As you can see, it's just kind of like going a little crazy there. All right, just about done. And you can get some pigment off on this if you use the tip. So I think those came out good. I'm happy with that. So next we have eyes. We're going to be using this Revolution, the Emily Edit, the Once. Beautiful colors. Oops, plastic sheet came off. As you can see, you just have like, there's a little something for everyone here. And I'm really excited to do an eye look with this. And if you don't follow Emily Noel 83 on YouTube, she does a bunch of awesome makeup. This is another one of my favorite YouTubers. And I just think it's really awesome that she has a palette. I was really excited to see this in Ulta. I know this is nothing new, but it's new to me. I just got it yesterday and I'm excited to try it. But before we dig in, we do need to prime. So I have the Milani eyeshadow primer. Lightweight invisible finish, works on all skin tones, and this is in the shade Nude. And if you watch Emily Noel, you know that she recommends this. This is her holy grail eyeshadow primer. You really don't need that much. This is going to be plenty for both of my eyes. I just split it amongst the two. You just go in and pat it on your eye like so. I know you might see a lot of other beauty YouTubers using so much primer, but I don't think it's necessary. Maybe, you know, maybe that's why my eye looks aren't beauty YouTuber quality, but I think this does just fine. This is plenty. All right, so let's get into the eyes. I'm going to start with this Morphe brush. This is the M433 brush. This is perfect for doing your crease. And I'm going to dip into this shade right here, Midwest. This is the perfect crease color for me. And I'm just going to sweep that around right here. Right off the bat, I can tell you that this is really good pigment. And I'm really surprised at, so far, I mean, this is just one color, but it's blending really well. And I'm really pleased with that because this was like a $20 palette. And so far, I think it's performing just as well as some of my more expensive palettes that I have from like, it's probably not Anastasia quality, which is fine. I wasn't expecting it to be, but it kind of holds up with like Too Faced. Go into my other eye now. This is a really great crease color. Now, what is your favorite eyeshadow palette? And have you tried any of the makeup that I'm putting on today? If so, do you like it? Do you know, is it in your dislikes pile? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, so I'm going to show you my technique for a really quick smoky eye. And smoky doesn't necessarily mean like dark grays and browns. You can do anything. Today I think I'm going to do a fun like green blue smoky eye. So we're going to dip into this color right here, corduroy, with this Morphe M441 brush. Now this is a little bit bigger than the crease brush that I did just a second ago. You can see it's a little bit more fluffier, and don't worry, I did use my color switch on it, so it's not necessarily like clean, but it's not going to get any of this brown shade off on my eyes. Color switch is great. Still make sure you're cleaning your brushes though. So let's dip into corduroy. Now, I like to pat this onto my outer lid like so with this brush. And I know that you could get, you know, better pigment off with a flat brush, but I'm not really going for totally pigmented out here because I'm going to use this to then blend into my crease like this. So simultaneously doing the outer third and deepening my crease at the same time. Now that is really pretty. It's like a dark teal. And we'll just do the same on the other eye. Now I don't know about you, but I always have an issue doing my left eye. And it kind of ends up being like a dumpster fire compared to my right eye. Beautiful. Now, I have this ColourPop E7 brush. This is like a big eyeshadow brush, as you can see. And I think I'm going to keep it in the green family. I'm going to go into this color right here, Grateful, and pick some of this up. And we'll see how this shimmery green performs on a brush. You know, sometimes you have to use your finger. But these just look like regular shimmers. They're not really like glitters or foils or anything, so we'll see. Oh, that is pretty. It's almost coming up a little bit gold. And we're just putting that in my inner third. Like so. It's coming up really pretty. It's looks a little bit more seafoam in the pan, but on the eye it's coming up like a peridot, I'd say, which is interesting. I, you know, obviously prefer when colors are true to pan. It's not always the case, but either way, this is still performing really well. It's still extremely pigmented, and it's working just fine with this brush. Just patting it on there. Getting some in my inner corners. And you know, I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to dip into Side Hustle, and I'm going to put this in the center of my lids and work in like a gradient effect from corduroy to Side Hustle to Grateful. And I think that's going to be really pretty. So just kind of dip this in the middle. This is a nice little transition shade between the two, the matte and the light green. Pretty, pretty. Very pretty. I love it. It's coming out really good. So now we just have to do the lower eye. I think I'm going to use this Sephora Precision Concealer brush. It's one of their like little baby, it's like short, and this is kind of like a pencil brush. And I'm going to use this to do the bottom of my eye. I don't actually use this for concealer. I use this for eye look. So I'm going to dip back into corduroy, and I'm going to sweep this along the lower outer third of my eye, like so. Darken that up. You make weird faces when you do makeup too? I was just sticking my tongue out like I wasn't even thinking. I'm just like in my own little world over here. Did a little bit too much there, so go back in with my concealer brush. There we go. And then next, I think I'm just gonna, you know, do what I did on the upper lid, carry that down to the lower lid. So dip into Grateful, again, light green, and sweep that below where the light green shows up. Pretty. Very pretty. And then back into Side Hustle, the medium green shimmer. I'm going to put that in the center, right under, you know, my iris. All right. I think that's looking good. This is a nice little smoky eye, and it's not dark green or not dark gray or brown or black. It's a nice green color, so it's like fun. Next up, some eyeliner. I don't think I'm going to do a wing today, but I do have this Glossier Play. Now you can tell me if you think that this is considered drugstore or not. I do think it's, you know, a little, it's cheaper than, you know, like Anastasia or Marc Jacobs or something like that. But I understand if this might, you know, not be considered drugstore, especially since you can't buy it in the drugstore section. You have to order it online. It's this pretty teal color. I think the color is called Hardcore Velvet. And I'm just going to put this in my waterline today. I'm not going to do a wing. So we'll just pop it down here, and I think it matches that corduroy color almost perfectly. See? Pretty. And I'm excited about this look. I have a shirt that I'm wearing right now that has like these greens in it. And I think that it just is gonna go really well. It's gonna be a good day, good Sunday. How do you spend your Sundays? Do you put on makeup on Sundays? I don't typically do it, but I thought it would be fun to do today. All right, so next up would be mascara. And I have this L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara. This is just black, I think. Nothing special here. Let's see. Oh, it just says it is flammable, so be careful with that, folks. And this is not my favorite mascara, but I'm still testing it out, seeing if I like it or not. I don't curl my eyelashes because they tend to be curly by themselves. I'm kind of blessed with long, luscious eyelashes. I know, I'm very lucky. But I think that's coming up nicely. I think it says that it's volumizing. And I'd say that's true. I think that it doesn't do a ton for length, but that's okay. It is a little bit clumpy. Last up would be lips. This is another new product for me. This is the NYX Lingerie XXL liquid lipstick in the shade Expose Me. Now, typical liquid lipstick scent, so kind of vanilla-y, sweet, cupcakey, and it has an interesting like flexible looking doe foot here. So I'm interested to try this. I think this is a really great color. Light. My boyfriend actually picked this one out. He doesn't really like when I wear dark lipstick, but I do it anyway. He loves. So far, so good. I think it's like a nice little neutral to go with this dark look, dark eye look. I think the key to getting the most out of your liquid lipstick, using it the way it's supposed to be used, is not putting too much on. See, I only dipped in the one time, and this is my look for today, completed. I don't know, I'm really pleased with how it came out. Like I said, I'm not a beauty YouTuber, but I do my best here, and hopefully you got some fun tips and tricks out of this video. If you're looking for more content like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I do makeup videos, clothing unboxings, haul videos, stuff like that, plus a whole bunch more. So if you like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a like down below, and I will see you all next time.